I always feel like I'm putting my friends in danger. The world needs the next Iron Man.
You going to step up or not?
Welcome to my Spider-Man Far From Home review. We've all been waiting for this movie since about December when they released the first trailers. I literally just got home after seeing it, so this is going to be my non-spoiler review, my quick thoughts, stuff like that. I'll have a more in-depth review on my podcast, so please go down in the description. We'll get the Conversations in Cold Ones link /podcast. If you want spoilers, more in-depth about my thoughts, please go down there. The new episode will be uploaded Friday, so make sure to stay tuned for that. So right off the bat, is this movie better than Homecoming? 100% yes. It has higher stakes, better action, and honestly, I feel like Tom Holland just feels better as Spider-Man. Mysterio was great. I think, in retrospect, it is a better villain and a better twist than what happened in Homecoming with Vulture. So let's talk about Tom Holland. So coming into this, I wasn't really excited for this movie, for a Spider-Man movie. I don't really like where the MCU was going with the character before this movie. They were going for more of this really childish, but not ready for the role, which I get. They kind of want to do an origin story, build him up. The problem is that makes a really boring movie. That was my problem with Homecoming, the fact that he was constantly being saved by Iron Man, and he just couldn't do anything by himself. At the end of the day, I want to watch Spider-Man do stuff and do it himself. That's what makes Spider-Man such a good character. So one of the things that this movie's still lacking is that moment where Spider-Man, all the odds are against him, and he dives into action and still gets it done. There's moments in this movie where you think that's going to happen, but it doesn't. It's downgraded, stuff like that. It builds all the tension up, and then it kind of flattens out. Let's talk about Mysterio. Mysterio was great. Jake Gyllenhaal still is showing why he's one of the best actors on the planet. If you haven't seen Nightcrawler, please go see that movie. You will be blessed. They went for a really interesting take on Mysterio, and I like the way they do some of the, character arcs in this. It's a really interesting story. It's a really interesting concept of how he does illusions and stuff like that. But the motivation behind him doing stuff, I can't really say because it would spoil, is pretty lacking. And they mention it in one sentence or one line, and it's gone. And there's no real driving edge for that. The whole movie's based on this one key thing Peter does. Well, yeah, about from Act 2 to the end, it's about this one key thing Peter does. And to me, it just felt rushed because they didn't build the bond between Mysterio and Spider-Man enough for me. It was really fast. I don't think what he gave Mysterio should have been something he gave so quickly. That's the best way to describe it without spoiling it. So MJ works. She's still quirky. She's still really weird, but I like her more in this movie than I do Homecoming. It's a good step forward for her character. Still, I don't know what they're trying to do with her. They're making her this weird outcast kind of character, but at the end of the day, it makes her character seem really bland in some cases. So let's talk about the supporting cast. You have Flash Thompson, who isn't that big of a bully this time around. I mean, he says, like in the trailer, Dick Wad, shit like that, but he doesn't really continue throughout the whole movie. And I guess the Ned and Betty relationship is funny for certain aspects, but I don't like what they did with Ned. Ned was always there with him, and he was always that guy in the chair, and that's what I thought they were going to keep going with. They stopped that. They had him do like this own thing, and it kind of really affected how I felt about Ned and Peter's relationship. In Homecoming, they seemed really close. So close that Peter is okay with him knowing he's Spider-Man. The problem is, in this movie, Ned completely disregards Peter's feelings and everything like that to just go be with Betty, who he just started dating. And that just made me feel really weird about the relationship and where they go from there. I feel like they're setting him up for a smaller role in the third one when I feel like he should have been a bigger role. So there is 2 end credit scenes that you have to see. They're pretty big. The second one, the end credit scene, isn't that big of a deal, but still big of a deal. The one before it, though, completely changes the game. It sets up Spider-Man 3 perfectly, what they're going to go with, and it's a good way to go out. Some of the downfalls of this movie, Mysterio is predictable. Obviously, we all know his character, and the best way I can say it is if you've read Mysterio's first appearance and that story, you know how this movie's going to go. That's the best way I can say it. That movie, it's laid out not really just like it, because they do change some things, but betrayals, stuff like that happen. You should have known that with Mysterio. Jake Gyllenhaal's not really in the movie a lot, which is kind of nice because they're really focusing on what Peter's worst enemy and biggest enemy in this movie is himself. They're really trying to focus on that, and it's really cool. There's a really cool scene that I can't really talk about that Mysterio does that I'm so happy we're finally able to see in a movie form and not comic book related. So this is just my quick review. If I had to give a score, I would give Homecoming a 7.5 or an 8. I'll give Far From Home an 8.5. So 8.5 out of 5. It is the best Marvel movie, if we're excluding Infinity War and Endgame, I've seen in years. Better than Captain Marvel, Black Panther, Thor Ragnarok, I think still beats it. Winter Soldier still beats it, but it is the best Spider-Man movie that the MCU has created. I don't think it's better than Spider-Man 2 with Tobey, but still really well done. I'm excited to see where they go. So thank you. Like I said, if you want to see a more in-depth review, please go down, look at my podcast. New episode will be uploaded Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We will also be talking about all the spoilers and stuff. So if you haven't seen that, please don't watch it Friday. Go experience this movie like Endgame. Please, before you look at any reviews, be careful on Twitter, stuff like that. All the spoilers are out there. So yeah, my next video will be uploaded tomorrow, Wednesday. Will be the first episode of The Forest, so make sure to watch out for that. I don't have a scheduled upload time for that, but just stay on the hunt for it. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, click the little notification bell so that you know I'm uploading. It's hard when you're a new channel if you search for my name, you're not going to find me right away. So if you have the notification on, you get that notification I uploaded, you can just swipe to the video or click to the video, stuff like that. So like I said, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you Wednesday. I'll have my spoiler-filled review next week. So after everyone's seen it, give it a week. So please comment down below what you thought of the movie, and I'll see you on the next one.